Hello, today is Wednesday, November 24th, 2021. My name is Daniel Mullany, and behind the camera is Caitlin Yates. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so we'd like to wish everyone out there a happy Thanksgiving. Today we're going to be filming a fully refurbished 880S semi-tool spin wrench dryer. This system is an 880, so it's a double stack. It's an S model, and it is configured with all three of our options, which are resistivity, anti-static, and DI recirculation. Our customer is located here in the United States, and their PO number was 2047883. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the process started to begin. Air is purging in as normal. Here we have the cassette and substrates. Okay. Air is purging in normal down here as well. Here we have the cassette and substrates. Okay, and taking a look at the back here as we run, make sure there's no leaks. As expected, everything is nice and tight. Looks good. Our system serial number for reference is SRD-01402. So this SRD was sent in for a full refurbishment. It is quite possibly an SRD that was sent in worse condition than anything we've ever worked on. This system had corrosion through the base plates, on the cam assembly, the uprighting piston. The wiring was sticky from caustic chemicals or fumes getting into the chamber. Some of the doors were cracked, a controller was missing, and just overall the condition was pretty bleak for years and years and years of continuous processing in a harsh environment. There will be photos sent to our customer to document the inside of the system, because you would not believe how great the inside of the spin wrench dryer looks after what it looked like before. Inside of this system, everything looks fantastic now. All the metal was chemically cleaned and re-electro-polished. All the tubing was replaced. So we have new Teflon tubing for the main facility lines, and we have new color-coded pneumatic tubing for the solenoid bank to actuate the ACR valves, the upright piston, and the door seal assembly. We have new door seals, new rear bowl seals, new windows on here. All the valves were cleaned here and entirely rebuilt. The upright piston was rebuilt, and really the transformation was quite amazing for what this system started as and what it looks like now. And that's all in thanks to our proprietary rebuild process here at Sitek, where we can take a condition of any rinser dryer, turn it into a like new condition, and we'll put a 1-year warranty on it to ensure that if anything does happen in the first year, we're going to cover it no matter what. We have that much confidence in the work that we do that we're going to provide you a full year warranty on a refurbished item. Okay, so taking a look here, I heard it just starting to ramp down, so I want to take a look. So everything's looking good right now. We had our initial rents around 500 RPM. Then we ramped up to our high RPM set point for the first initial dry step. You want to ramp up to a high RPM to allow the 1800 set point to sling the majority of the water off of the cassette and substrates. Essentially, you're using spinning to whip off the majority of the water. From there, you're going to move to our lower RPM set point, which is right here. We're in dry 2. We're at about 500 RPM. And here we are running slower to let the drying elements of the SRD give a nice uniform dry to the cassette and substrates. So the heaters are turning on during that dry 1 step, but realistically, it's not the heat that's doing the action, the drying at that point, it's the high RPM. And then when we ramp down, it's going to be the heat that's going to leave you with a nice, clean, uniform dry to the SRD when it's complete. As I mentioned, this system has resistivity probes. So during the rinse step, it will measure the resistivity of the wastewater that is coming out the drain boxes in the back of the system here. It also has static eliminators for both the top and the bottom head assembly. So the static eliminators are going to provide a static charge to the chamber at the end of the process cycle. Actually, they're on right now. And what they're doing is they're alleviating any static buildup that might occur during the cassettes or in the cassettes during the high RPM spinning. And then lastly, we have our DI water recirculation. So when I take a look at the back of the system here, I see a couple valves that you're able to adjust manually, and that will have a constant flow going from the incoming DI water out into the drain box. Essentially, we want to avoid having any stagnant dead leg water, and this recirculation feature allows you to keep that water moving. It's not going to waste too much water. You only need to set it to a slight trickle where it's really only just barely dripping into the back drain box. Okay, we're now down to our last minute of dry time. Another item I'd like to note is that you can see how bright the display is in our refurbished controller. So this system only came in with one controller. It functions totally normally, so we were able to just reuse that controller, and then we sold another controller from our inventory that was fully rebuilt, and you can see that here in the display brightness for this controller. All right, everything's looking pretty normal here. So in addition to providing refurbishment services for our customers, we also offer 100% of the spare parts that you would need to keep your systems up and running. So any spare part you would need: windows, door seals, heater blankets, nitrogen heaters, motors, motor controllers, ACR valves, solenoid valves, the upright piston, any of those parts that you would need to keep your system up and running. We sell those parts. That includes all make and models, double stacks, single stacks, STs, F models, S models, and the majority of those parts are also kept here in-house. Additionally, any parts that have been discontinued by the manufacturer, such as the upright piston, we've invested in reverse engineering so we can provide plug-and-play replacements to those parts that no longer are provided by the original manufacturer from a 1985 design. So we're now done with the dry cycle. I'm reaching in, I can feel the nitrogen purging in hot, so that's good. The cassette here is nice and warm, and the substrates are dry and ready for the next step in the manufacturing process. Moving on to the next chamber. The nitrogen's purging in hot. The cassette and substrates are warm and dry and ready for the next step in your manufacturing process. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to view our video inspection for today. Again, my name is Daniel, and this video was filmed for Sitek Process Solutions. If you'd like to learn more about our products, please visit our website at www.sitekprocess.com, spelled S-I-T-E-K, or give us a call at 916-797-9000. And to reach me directly, dial extension 2201. Thanks again, and happy Thanksgiving.